All right, good morning and welcome to our first remote learning where I'm actually going to teach you something. We're in chapter 17. And if you want to turn in your book to page, I believe we're on 385. I'll give you a second to do that. And first of all, let me say hopefully you guys are doing all right. Let's see, I see Coletta, Steve, Tommy, Kyler, Owen in the front row. I got Gordon, Cody, Kobe, Madison, Shay, Joe in the second row. I got Austin in the back, Donnie in the back. I got Lucas, Abby, and Chuck in the back row. Hope you guys are doing all right. All right, on 385. This is a worksheet. We've done one. We did it for the service business. If you remember, and what you're looking at here, this is where we find out if we made any money. By the way, this is a fiscal period, and the fiscal period is for a year for this merchandise business. First set of columns, trial balance. This is where we get the balances from the ledger. And those are on page 386 to 392. We just take the balances straight from the ledger and put them in here in the trial balance. We add them up, they equal. We probably posted correctly. If we didn't, we probably made a mistake. Now, if you remember after we did that, we have to adjust some accounts. In our service business, we adjusted supplies and prepaid insurance. Well, if you look over here to the right, we have 4 that we have to adjust now. We have to adjust our merchandise inventory, supplies, office, store, and prepaid insurance. So the first one that we have to adjust, and by the way, I did not put all the balances in here, I just put the accounts that we need to adjust. We'll be able to look in the book and show you the rest of them. First of all, the reason we need to adjust merchandise inventory is if you remember, every time we bought merchandise, we put it in the purchases account. We have never touched merchandise inventory. So we have to go in the back room, see how much merchandise inventory we have left. We did that, and we have $212,200 worth. So we have to adjust the account. Now, if you remember, we have to use this formula right here. Had minus have equals use. What we had at the beginning, 225,400. What we have now is 2012,200. We have to find out what we used, and used is the adjustment. So we had 225,400. We have 212,200. So we have used then, if you subtract it, 13,200. Since merchandise inventory is less, we have to credit the account. To subtract it, we have to put our little a in, And this is where we're going to put the 13,200. Now the account that goes with this, which we've never used before, is income summary. The reason we use income summary is we're either going to show it as a cost, in this case, because we have less, so we actually sold more than we purchased. That's why we have a reduction in merchandise inventory. So we're going to put our 13,200 in the debit of income summary, and I'll explain this in a second. So that's our first adjustment. We had 25,400. We have 212,200. Now, that's our first adjustment. So we have supplies office now. We had 5,400, and now we have 1,460. So we have to subtract, and that leaves us that we used 3,940. So that is the adjustment. We used right here 3,940, and that we have to put our little b in for our second adjustment. 3,940. And we know that the account that goes with that is supplies office expense. $39.40. That's our second adjustment. All right, our third adjustment, we have to adjust supply store. 57.80. We have 25.20. So we have to subtract it, and we used 3,260, so 3,260 is our adjustment. Again, have to put our little letter in. We adjust it with a credit showing a decrease in the account that goes with it, supply store expense. Okay, that is our third adjustment. Our final one is prepaid insurance. We had 48.40. We have 2,200. So we used 2,640, 2,640. We have to decrease it, which is our fourth adjustment. And insurance expense is the account we adjust with it. Okay, now Get off your phone, Steve. Now, if you remember, we're going to total up both of these columns down here, and they'll equal. All right, at this point, this is where we have to extend our accounts. And if you remember, I told you to take these four, and you can put those out here in the balance sheet. Because this is the adjustment information over here, and these are the final balances for these accounts. These numbers, you can throw these out here right away. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask you at this point to go into the book and turn to page 400 and 401. And while you do that, I'm going to stop this part, and this will be the first video you watch, and I'll come back and I'll have part 2 on the next video. Hopefully this made sense, and I'll explain the income summary part to you.